let's start here at Page High School. We were talking before, never been to a state championship before you got here, and now you guys have been here 4 straight. You just ended a great senior year in the state championship. Unfortunately, the first loss of the season, 27-20, so it was a tight ball game. Yeah. Just talk about what this senior year meant to you.
It's meant a lot to me. Coming in my freshman year, we were never really known to be a big defensive school. When I got here, a new DC came in, and I've been with him the last 4 years. And I know our defense like the back of my hand, and just being able to pour into these younger guys and just see how much our football team has grown over the last 4 years, and to be in contending in 4 state title games in my whole career with 60 games played. It's been a huge honor to me, and just seeing this team grow from day one when I got here, and just seeing how the outcome and what I'm leaving behind, and just the hands that this team's left in.
Just interacting with some of the people when I first got to the school, you could tell it's more than just on the football field. It kind of spreads throughout the school when you guys have success like that.
It definitely does. And Page High School, it's over the years, it's been put on the map. We've had soccer, boys soccer, girls soccer, track and field team. Like Page have great athletes all around. Our basketball team, both boys and girls, are doing great this year to start off their year. We just got a brand new wrestling room on the new building that's been added. Like, this entire school is new, and it's growing at a fast rate. So just seeing all the change over the last couple of years has been great. Yeah,
as I was driving to the country roads to get here, all of a sudden you see this huge building pop up over the hill. It's a pretty impressive place. What's it meant to play out on that field here?
It means a lot. My entire career, I've only lost 1 game on that field. And then after the state game, we got back home Saturday. I just went up there and took a moment to myself. Nobody else was here, and just realizing what all I've done for this school, and then what all the guys that have brothered next to me, and all the guys that have supported me all the way and just helped me grow. And now I get to continue my dreams of playing Division I football, hopefully onto the NFL. It's huge.
I've seen you listed as an edge, as a linebacker. Is getting into the backfield something that you thrive?
Definitely. Yeah. That's been my go-to since freshman year. Early on, our defensive coordinator, and who's also our defensive line coach now, he was our outside linebackers coach, which is why I got really connected with him. Over the years, he just saw me like, you have a knack for going to get the quarterback. You have a knack for getting your arm up on your pass rush, knocking down balls. And that's the funny thing we all joked around with, is the DBs hate me just because I knocked down so much for them that they could have probably picked off. And that's just one of the funny things we get to joke around with. But just being able to do my thing, give it to the quarterback, and that's one thing Coach Hagan's always been very upfront with me about. Like, you have a knack for pass rush, and that's one thing he loves about my tape. He loves my motor. He loves all of it.
When you look at Louisville, obviously when you think of the edge, you think of Ashton Gelati right off. Is that somebody that you kind of have watched over the last few years?
For sure. Him and Ramon have been my top 2 guys, and that's the 2 that hosted me when I was up there on my official visit. Coach Hagan was very clear that these 2 guys are what you're coming in. These are the shoes you have to fill. And that's a huge honor for me just to see how much they've grown this year. Ramon came into the season looking to get 1 defense touchdown. He ended up with 3 of them. Yeah. And that just shows how much Coach Hagan's built them up, and just what all he does for the team, the defensive line, and that's one thing I'm excited to get on campus for.
I think those 2 guys both have very inspiring stories. I mean, Ramon was a former walk-on, and Ashton was kind of not a highly rated kid, kind of like yourself, and both of them were kind of like, I'm sitting out to prove something. Are you kind of fueled in a similar way?
Definitely, and Coach Hagan made it very clear, and Coach Braun made it very clear, you're an underrated guy, and we're not very heavy on the stars. We want athletes who put their film on tape, and tape speaks for itself. And that's been one of the huge things, one of the reasons why I chose Louisville. Mm-hmm. Just having their support since day one, them seeing how much weight I gained this past summer, setting in at 250, doing what I do, getting faster, stronger, being able to push off blocks and just stop the run, being able to read pass and get in the backfield. Just seeing how much he compares me to these big guys like Ashton and Ramon, and just seeing how well they do, it makes me very happy for what I can do.
The stars may not say it, but the peers have spoken. Yeah. You were honored as Tennessee 5A Mr. Football. Yeah. That's a pretty big honor. Obviously, not many people through the time of history of Tennessee football have been able to achieve that.
For sure, and I think that just goes back to my work ethic day in and day out, and goes back to these guys that are on my team through high school. They push me. We have a Tennessee commit, Brendan Ains, that's going to the next level. We got William Weebush, who's a safety, going to Wake Forest. which hopefully get to see him at some point while I'm in the ACC. Last year we had an offensive lineman, Ronan O'Connell, who's at Clemson right now. Hopefully see him next year.
Yeah,
and
cool.
like just having the guys that have come in and out of this program pushing me each and every day to be a better version of myself, and we have a great culture here of getting guys to the next level.
You committed to Louisville on June 27th,
Yes, sir.
pretty early on, and stayed committed. In talking to
Yeah.
you, it sounds like, commitment's kind of a big thing to you, building that bond. What was it about Louisville that said, you know what, I'm going to make that decision now?
Really everything. With the whole process now, a lot of guys have to commit earlier. You lose your spot. And going into it, like most of the guys were telling me, go ahead and commit so you don't lose your spot, commit so you don't lose your spot. And then after my official visit, after talking with Coach Brom, Coach Hagan, and just seeing their plan for me that they had for me, they knew where they wanted me. They knew how they see me fit in their defense. And that's huge for any guy. And being able to fill the shoes of great guys that are leaving this year, that's a huge honor and a huge opportunity for me to get on the field early.
And you mentioned early, you're going to be an early enrollee. You said, what, today or tomorrow's your last day of
Tomorrow's
class?
the last day,
I mean, that's-
January 6th, moving day.
Just as a high school student, saying the last day of class it's got to be pretty exciting. But to have move-in day, like you just mentioned, right behind that's pretty exciting.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what's the thought process of going from I'm in high school today and man, I'm gonna have Christmas with my family, and then right after that, I'm a college football player.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in at once, and there's been a lot of emotions the last 2 weeks just because you have National Signing Day, sign with Louisville on an extreme high, go Friday, excited for a state championship game, lose that game. This Monday was uniform turn-in, and then just all of this, then getting the Mr. Football Award. So it's been a very emotional week.
I bet.
The last couple of weeks. So, and then now just being able to spend my last couple of weeks with my family and just being able to take it all in at once is really special.
You did get some late push. Mississippi State came after you late. You took a visit.
Yep.
How difficult was that last few days, last few weeks of the recruiting process because of a late push like that?
It was definitely hard. Mississippi State has always been one of my favorite schools just because my dad went there under Jackie Sherrill. My brother went there to play baseball. And just having that home feel that I always had at Mississippi State, it was huge. And then the Cowbells, like that's been one of my dreams to play for the Cowbells. But going back and really sitting down and looking at it, seeing who really wants you, seeing who's putting the time and the effort, and that was all Louisville. Like they came in early, they trusted me, they trusted that the player I was going to become. And just seeing that, having a coaching staff at the next level believe in me because early on I was told that I would never play power football because I was too small,
Wow.
especially defensive end. And just having those words come in and affect me and who I am because I'm always a guy that's going to go down. You ask me to jump, I'm going to ask how high. And that's been, if you ask a lot of people around here, that's probably the answer you're going to get. And that's just who I am. That's how I've been raised.
You were a frequent visitor for games.
Yep.
What did you think of those experiences, getting to hear what it was like in LN Stadium?
It was very, very chaotic, and
Yeah.
just seeing all the support, and even on Twitter, having all these Louisville supporters come in and support me throughout my high school career this year. It's been huge. No matter who offered me, like Virginia Tech, Vandy, and Mississippi State all came in, and on every single one of those posts, you saw somebody from Louisville commenting, and it just makes you feel loved by somebody. And that's one of the hugest, that's another thing that went into the decision, like just having them behind my back, having a fan base already, and I'm not even on campus yet. That's another big thing for me.
You'll be on campus soon. You mentioned January 6th. Going into it, I imagine, obviously, you're kind of a big man on campus.
Yeah.
You get to college, and now you're on a team of big guys on campus. What are your goals for the first few weeks, and then obviously into spring practice?
Definitely just getting acclimated to everything, going in there, doing what I've continued to do all throughout my high school career, working hard, and hopefully earn that starting spot come next spring.
Nice. That's a pretty big claim. I mean, that's obviously showing some determination.
And I think going into it with CJ coming in with me, we were all coming in early. We talked about roommates, me, CJ, Grant, Mason, all rooming together.
Nice.
And just having the guys that are around me that know the work ethic, know what it took to get here. And then I think we're all four of us have great futures ahead of us, along with all the other commits coming in with us. I think we have a special bond with each other already, and we haven't really been around each other. Just talking at games, coming on visits together, I think there's something special coming.